Hey,
Good.
I'm Josh. We're sitting at the same location. We usually have our reviews at. I wanted Tyler to watch some movies. I've been having these crazy double features. I've been sitting here for a while, and I thought I watch the most insane, weird, odd, ridiculous, potentially disgusting, offsetting movies you can find.
Oh, potentially, huh?
Well, it depends on the person. And me and Tyler don't have official name for this. Do you have a name for this segment? What do we call it?
Right now, I'm going to call this Josh Made Me Watch, because that's the more appropriate term for this. I mean, I say made. I will do anything to get out of my apartment these days. I won't explain why, because that would just be rude.
But we watched the movie Topo. So this is...
Boy, did we.
So Tyler, what did you know coming into this? Let's just, what did you know about the movie?
I knew that this was a Jodorowsky movie. I know that he is... There are surrealist filmmakers, and then there is him. I know his reputation from Holy Mountain for, what's that one where the mom only sings in opera, and... It's not Mountain of... No.
There's a bunch of these.
Fuck. I'll just put the poster up here.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Topo, Holy Mountain, Santa Sangre. Those are the three for me.
And while I've never seen it, I'm very curious about the documentary where he tried to make a 14-hour version of Dune.
I want that.
Not gonna lie, I kind of do now. I can imagine it in my head, but it's kind of paper cutout animation style, kind of like Fantastic Planet, because that's the only way I can picture a Dune movie made by this fucking...
Genius.
LSD'd out whack job.
Genius.
That too.
So, what did you... Just overall thoughts. What did you think of this? Give me your vibes. What is this to you?
Okay, so my train of thought was, for the first 20 minutes, I was loving every single bit of it. No matter how intentional or unintentionally hilarious this shit was, the surrealism where there seem to be no rules or logic to this universe inspires the hell out of me, because whenever you guys do see my first short film, Don't Swallow, you'll tell that it's incredibly absurd in its imagery, and I took a lot of inspiration from not only Looney Tunes, but the Fleischer Brothers, in that, anything can happen, anything can come alive or be destroyed, and that was the beauty of what I saw through the visuals, the cinematography, the action, the acting in this. And then, about midway through, or at least I think it was midway through, it's really hard to tell.
It's going to be 1 hour and 20 minutes when the main quest ends.
Yeah, and not gonna lie, the more characters talked in this, because the first half hour is a lot of Sergio Leone-style stare-downs between characters, and that's what makes the absurdity when a character is, eating out of or licking a pink stiletto.
Yes.
It's just... No amount of dialogue could justify just how amazing that is. But the more characters talk and try to explain the mythos or the themes that this movie is trying to go for, not gonna lie, it made the movie drag a little bit more for me, and it did pick itself up a lot more in the last 20 minutes, where it's not as bonkers, but it's much more rapid and random.
So let's break it down here, because I had a format idea for this, because I was going to make Tyler watch these. So I had to come up with the concept to make sure we had a discussion on it. Man in Black, played by Jodorowsky. I always butcher the name.
You butcher everybody's
But
names.
The main three, so we got the Man in Black.
Yes.
We've got the woman he meets along the way. Then we have the woman, the evil woman he meets along the way, so to speak, the woman in black. Right. And then we have the child. What did you think of our four main characters to sort of explain this world? What do you think they meant? What do you think they did? I explained some of it, but what does it mean to you? Because that's what it meant to me.
Yeah, because the first symbolic thing that you and I both picked up on was... Okay, so the first characters in this are a cowboy who wears nothing but black, and a 7-year-old boy who literally only wears shoes. I'm not kidding, he is full frontal naked. It was disturbing watching this kid ride this older man bareback.
There are no laws in Italy in 1970 when they're making film, apparently.
That makes it even more concerning. But when when you see this kid be the first person to technically kill someone, because the man in black gives this gun to the child and he shoots this person who is going to die anyways, but you're putting him out of his misery. And then you have the man in black who, left and right, showing off in so many ways where he can literally throw a knife underhand 2 stories up and nail someone in the neck.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit even by this movie's universe, but it still was awesome to watch. It was hilarious.
Man, that's like something out of the Furious or one of these kung fu movies.
It kind of was, actually. But also do the from behind shot, which was also pretty cool. You can tell that there's literal black and white symbolism where the kid is this embodiment is a dirty word to describe a naked kid, but this embodiment of innocence compared to death and destruction incarnate, because that's basically what this guy does. He's on a quest to basically kill. I said it was the 4 horsemen because in a Western especially, like, the symbolism...
It's considered a mythical Western. I think it could be killing the 4 elements. It could be killing world religions. It could be killing any power that you sort of want to take down to become your own god.
And you can tell, like, the 4 religions especially. Like, you pointed out the Buddhism ones with the first expert.
Bullets blown off me, I no longer fear death, sort of stuff like that, right? So he sort of, and as he goes along...
And not gonna lie, his dick-shaped Buddha literally reminded me of a Buddha.
Yeah.
I feel weird saying that, but
like that
true.
opening sequence particularly, like, to strike an audience, to see a child bury his mother's picture in a childhood toy, ride on a horse with the 2 figures to go to a town that's been absolutely massacred and destroyed, to have a child shoot a dying man in the head. That's an opening.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Like, the first time I saw that, I'm like,
and it's like,
this disturbs me greatly.
And it's like bright neon saturated red everywhere.
That 70s blood.
It's giallo blood, too.
I know. It's, I mean... Giallo.
You got to show me more Italian movies.
Oh, we will. We're gonna get there's a bunch on this series, but we're starting with some of like personal favorites on the shelf. But that opening sequence for me, and it will tie it back to the ending, starts the cycle of violence and ends the cycle of violence. There is always going to be a cycle of violence.
Yeah.
That's what this movie is discussing. From life to death, we crave violence and peace through resurrection, and that resurrection comes, and we get that violence right back again. It's sort of like basically man versus himself. That's what this is. He constantly wants to destroy, and he constantly wants to tear down when he wants peace, but he can never have.
Well, I mean, there's that about it. I mean, for the first act, he literally kills anyone who gets into his own way, up until the point where he feels remorseful, and the woman in black who's been following him, basically, once he submits, once he destroys his gun, once he refuses to hit anyone, he basically lets her take her, and... That's basically the death and resurrection metaphor that comes within the second half of the film. And he tries to not fight people, not try to resolve conflict, but try to bring joy to the world through his vaudevillian entertainment. And then there comes the point where the villains are so unstoppable, are so merciless in their bloodshed that he submits. But the fact that he is killing to liberate and rescue people... It's not a complete regression. Like, there's an acknowledgement that you can't save everyone. You can't save yourself half the time.
Yeah, and so the one thing I wanted to
but there is like one. It's not a complete Unforgiven scenario where all death is evil. Like, there is an acknowledgement that sometimes it has to be done.
But then, he basically gets set up in this scenario where he takes down a bunch of bandits, which has the cool knife throw, like you said, and it sets us up for him to rescue this girl who becomes the lead, right? And she is this person who's like, you have to go kill these 4 masters of the desert. How she does that, how she knows they exist, unknown. Is she a monk? Is she with the monks? Don't question it. It's just, this is a philosophical metaphor for the main character, who maybe speaks 3 times, but the masters that he faces, death is not really a consequence, it's sort of an outcome. They can't die unless you cheat death. And that's what I think is so interesting. So we've got, like, I love, and what do you think of the 4 masters? Because you had some thoughts on them, and I thought they're all really interesting and diabolical.
No, they are. And I mean, they all are deceptively stoic. in their presence. Like, they seem so calm in their abilities. They seem so nonchalant about the fact that they can die to begin with. So that lack of fear towards him actually makes him seem a little more determined to prove them wrong and also to accomplish his missions, especially with 2 and 3. I would think. Like, 2, I think, is the Jesus metaphor because instead of a carpenter, he makes copper instead. So, like, not to mention, he's constantly surrounded by his mother, so I kind of took that as a Jesus and Mary.
And a lion, sort of like Aslan sort of deal. Aslan's supposed to be Jesus as the lion.
Did Narnia even exist, though, before that?
Narnia was written in the 40s.
Okay, I guess that could happen. But, I mean, your spirit animal theory about the mother made a little bit more sense.
It could be Aboriginal, spirit animal, Indian sort of vibe.
Well, there's definitely
in that, like,
there's definitely Aboriginal spirituality interwoven in
the first master I do think is Buddhism because, like, death doesn't affect him, bullets bone off of him, and he's like I've just come back sort of deal.
It also has one of my favorite surreal moments in this where you see a man with no arms carrying a man with no legs.
And one arm.
Was there one arm?
He only has one arm.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I
thought one gun.
I thought they were both double amputees.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes for a cool visual, and there are a lot of characters in this who are outsiders even by the definition of a traditional Western, and there's definitely a point to that where the strong always... What's the evolution theory that the strong always outperforms the weak? No, that's not it. This movie broke my brain.
I can look it up. We have a laptop.
Survival of the fittest.
Oh, survival of the fittest. Yeah.
It's like there's so many characters in this who, whether they're main characters or just background extras serving the film's point, this has a huge survival of the fittest outlook on life.
Is their survival that important to the film or the main character?
Well, I mean, just from the fact that there's this one throwaway gag where characters are boxing with barbed wire gloves.
That is cool.
And not gonna lie, the sick bastard in me kind of made me wish that we actually saw the carnage, because that's the point in the movie where the movie's lecturing us for wanting to enjoy bloodshed, because there's a Western town that just thrives off of the misery of others. And it's a little hypocritical of a filmmaker to criticize that, considering we go to Westerns and action movies for that exact purpose.
But, like, he says we've lost our audience.
There is that about it.
It's profound, it's on the nose, and it's perfectly tonally dialogue for this film.
I do admit that there's the one thing where, like, the bloodshed is more popular than the optimistic and universal slapstick comedy where they're willingly humiliating themselves.
Yeah. Now, the third master particularly is extremely influential on, like, my career, my filmmaking, my style, everything. Everything I do, it's a crazy old man. He's bouncing around, and like this, it's a metaphorical fight. So he shoots the gun, and
I thought he was the fourth.
He's the fourth?
I think the third one is the one with the rabbits.
The third one, yeah. So the fourth one, the butterfly net man.
Yes.
So he has my favorite cinema quote of all time. I traded my gun for a butterfly net. I was so inspired by this, I put it in my pilot in a movie a few years ago. And if you look at my work, you'll find Jodorowsky all over it. Like, his fingerprints are in little pieces all over my movie. But I love, just in the middle of this desert, after we've seen people doing drugs, after we've seen various fights, we've seen metaphors for multiplication with rabbits and stuff. We've seen all these things. We've seen horrors. We've seen joy. We've seen the physical rape of Mother Nature. We've seen all of this. This man just bounces the bullet back and says, if you fire it, we'll go for your heart. Because that's not just the bullet. That's saying that every action he takes in that direction takes him down a darker path. By saying it through such a creative way. He says, I traded my gun for a butterfly net. You want peace, but you can never have it. That's exactly the themes of the movie portrayed through it. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, this guy's a genius. I love that.
As much as I had issues with the pacing and some of the ways this explains its analogies, because sometimes it goes back and forth from, like, show, don't tell to trying to play it both ways. And, I mean, sometimes it does work. I mean, there's a Russian roulette sequence that is
my goodness.
more insane than the Deer Hunter, if you really think about it.
That is, we'll get to that, but wow,
Yeah.
what a sequence. Like, that sequence for me, I knew it was coming, and my heart sank. It just sank. I knew it. Like, but, like, he faces the Masters, and he says, he basically decides he's become God. And at that point, he's on a bridge, and you've got a main character, Mother Nature, girl, whatever you want to call her, the main girl. I don't even know if she has a name.
I don't think either one of them do.
Whatever her name is, the girl. And she has to choose between this Jesus-like figure and literal, like, death or evil or Satan. And she chooses to go right away with Satan as this man just screams at her and he's shot and he's reliving the past. And it's sort of this ultimate regret for what he has become. And I'm like, wow. Wow.
See, the Woman in Black, there were so many scenes as I was watching this movie just wondering, why are you here? What is your purpose? And then that ending sequence that you just described, it made me think back on her whipping the main Mother Nature allegory and then making out with her. And it got me thinking that this wasn't a God versus devil analogy. It was an angel versus demon analogy because the demon uses temptation to seduce the angel and become basically a fallen angel by that point.
And one of the key things we should say is when at the end of the sequence in this town and the kid makes all this, we leave the kid behind. The kid is now part of the monks or this religious society in these large pointy dome houses or whatever. Very, a lot of this stuff really made itself in the Holy Mountain, okay? But he is left and he says, if you see me, destroy me. And this is, like, super pivotal. And, like, you think there, just picture this father figure who's, like, corrupting this child. It's like, if you see me, destroy me. Like, the foresight on that. That's not drugs. That's just a man struggling with his conscience, right? Like, what he has become. And I'm just astounded by this. Because we get to this town later on. He's abandoned by all of this. And he's now in this... He wakes up in a cave. This is a little weird, this cave. Oh, boy, what's the first thing they say?
I am not a god, I am a man, how long have I been here? And the Mary of this movie basically says, oh, you've been here since before I was even born. And we're just like, okay, this is going to be creepy.
Yeah, how old is this man? But then that's to say, how long has he been on this spiritual journey? So it's a verbal metaphor.
Well, by spiritual journey, we'll say spiritual coma, because...
That works too, yeah.
Let's just say that, imagine if in Over the Garden Wall, Ward and Greg hung out in that river a lot longer than 10 minutes. You haven't even seen
I've watched a few clips because you told me about it, so I went and did my research.
And don't get me wrong, Noah and I will make you watch it.
Oh, no,
before.
I've seen clips, I just haven't done a deep dive, but I understand sort of what we're looking at.
In fact, this is also, like, more...
I think they're blocking. I'm going to stand up. I got a Yellowstone shirt, you got Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah, and Over the Garden Wall, kind of like this, is much more allegorical in its storytelling, because, like, you can take the characters at face value, but, like, the hidden meanings behind them are what make, it, for me anyways, a lot more special.
We'll flip this around for the other cover. It's a reversible cover.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, here we go.
I'm willing to... Oh, okay, I saw it on the inside.
Yeah,
but
I just...
that poster is just a lot cooler, though.
Yeah. I just don't want you to...
Because it lets you know of, like, the anachronistic and the Western stuff in there.
So the first half is, like, man trying to just be himself, be good and evil. The second half is, like, him versus society.
Yeah.
And boy, is this society corrupt.
My God.
Whoa, what do we got?
Let's see. The slavery,
whipping,
the summary,
killings, racism.
the summary executions. This cult religion that believes in Bill Cipher because he is their mascot. Like, it's literally a triangle with the eye. I'm willing to bet that Gravity Falls might have stolen that from this.
Tons of Illuminati triangle sort of eye, everyone's watching you. But it paints us this picture.
A guy has an Illuminati belt buckle that he would end up recycling in Holy Mountain.
We will get to Holy Mountain because...
And I look forward to it.
We have to. But this town, like with its imagery and just the way they cover up everything else with this imagery, big cover up, you know, the way everyone treats everyone, like, this town sucks. This is the worst town. And so he's like, I should go to this town.
And before I forget, there's this cleansing moment where, like, all of his hair is removed, all the hair that he grew while he was in, like, a 20-some-year coma. And he looks like John Cryer.
He goes from that New Girl guy who's big, bushy hair, who's also in Game Night, you know what I mean? To
Yes!
John Cryer. What's that guy's name?
Entire time I thought, the entire time I'm sitting there like, is that Jason Mantzoukas? Like, what the fuck?
Is that his name?
Yeah. Because the entire time I'm sitting there, I'm like, he looks so much like Jason Mantzoukas.
He 100% does. Yeah.
It's fucking creepy.
I would have never related.
He went from dude from Brooklyn Nine-Nine to 2.5 Men. Like, that
got an upgrade somehow.
No, that is no. If you go from that to John Cryer, that's a huge downgrade. I will say,
I prefer 2.5 Men over Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I will say, if John Cryer was that tall and built, he would have actually been a decent Lex Luthor.
Oh my goodness, but
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah, no, that's the guy.
And
And I'm thinking of the Mummy and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like, who's that guy? And he was in Game Night, right? And stuff, and
Game Night,
a bunch of other stuff. I've seen him in stuff. He's a good character actor.
He is.
I actually really quite like him.
He is for sure.
Yeah. I don't think he's related, unfortunately.
No, but God, if he showed up on SNL as like a cowboy version of that would
work.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, but he's now bald and he's like a monk and he's sort of what he was trying to protect in the beginning for the reasons he was doing violence. And they put on a comedy act.
Yeah. It's literal vaudeville, commedia dell'arte, you name it.
Oh, it's actually, honestly, a pretty good act. If someone did that, I think it would be pretty good. I'd watch that act.
I'd watch it for a few minutes. I don't know if I would, like, donate, because the whole thing is that they're busting for enough supplies so that they can dig out this group of outsiders that I think is meant to be, like... It's not
like a leprosy colony.
It's not a
thing.
It's not a leprosy colony, but like it's supposed to be the Ben-Hur colony.
A marginalized people of whatever you want to pick.
It's every marginalized group in like that era of the time, and it does it a lot. It does it a lot better than movies do nowadays. Where like
I would pick this movie over most modern films. I mean, because I like older movies. They had a lot more to work with. They had a lot more to say. Like you had to be better back then. You had to be better.
And I think I can safely speak for like your filmmaking style and mine. We want that older vintage look.
Yeah, I mean, I think they shot this on like 35mm, probably 6. I don't know. I'm actually curious if they shot it on 16 or 35.
This said, I thought I saw 35 somewhere.
Let's see here. Let me read this. It's a 4K scan. Yeah.
I feel bad having this Bugs Bunny mug because there are a lot of rabbits in this. Probably one of the more visually pleasing aspects of the story because there are so many gorgeous shots in this. There are so many frames within a frame. Like
let's just take a tangent on the cinematography.
Yeah,
genius. If you are a cinematographer, watch this movie. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, for me, like, when he walked up through the doorway with the sky at the beginning there.
And the posse follows behind him.
Oh, my goodness. Or when, like, when he walks through the field of dead rabbits and he's facing this guy and the guy's, like, laying in the pool of blood and you can look down on his hat. And it's, like, the hat is a circle, like, he's going in a circle.
I was going to say the rabbit-proof fence was, like, an aspect ratio within the film because it kind of works that way.
Yeah, or just scopes of the desert, like... Lawrence of Arabia said that.
Yeah, here's the thing.
I don't know when that came out. It might have been first. I'm not sure.
It was definitely first. But if you have any desire for cinematography, study the size, the colors.
My goodness.
Definitely, even if you're not an editor, study the editing because...
This is great montage editing, but also great visual non-storytelling. This has a little bit of everything. Now, some of it is very random and a drug trip. I will say that much.
There's literally a moment where they pick LSD out of one girl's mouth.
That tongue shot? So freaking cool.
It was.
So cool.
It totally was. I mean, half the shots in this are just amazing.
And then the fact that they would have shot this on, let's say, 35 millimeter, I'm gathering, or judging by the budget, and a lot of these were shot on 16 millimeter. Like, you would have had to drag the film out and wind it up and roll it and ADR it and just, like, the amount of work you would have to put in to get this. You can't digitally create this. This is in frame.
I mean, you can digitally create it, but you have to spend a lot of time.
Not in 1970.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do. This actually, I think, emphasizes my black and white symbolism there.
It does, absolutely.
But I should stress, like, if picking apart symbolism and metaphors are all you need to enjoy an art house movie, you'll have a good time. If you're like me and maybe the metaphors are a little more spelled out and you want, like, more visual storytelling, because to me, like, the dialogue-free scenes were my favorites.
Oh, 100%.
Or if you need to take some of these scenes at literal face value, there are going to be scenes that feel a lot more drawn out than they should.
Let's not spoil the ending, but what do you think of the way it ended, the way it concluded, the way it wrapped up? What are you taking away from that? Because people leading up to it, sure, but that ending, let's leave that for them.
The free act structure is super consistent. There's no doubt about that. And I mean, nothing, even when an outcome they say is going to happen it doesn't feel like it's cheat. If anything, it's a natural progression. Like, there's one point where the main character, the man in black, thinks he has a certain fate in mind, but he accelerates it without including one other person, but there's a reason for it. That other person needs to fill in the void, the cycle of life, death, and violence that's, I don't want to say necessary for society, but it does kind of remind me of 2001: A Space Odyssey, where it starts with the literal invention of, like, a tool, but that tool is used for violence. And then the majority of the movie is spent on that violence being enacted by another tool, in this case, Hal. And then it leaves it a lot more uncertain on what... I don't even remember what the name of the device is in 2001. Why am I even asking?
The Hal or whatever?
No, the black bar.
Oh goodness, I watched that movie for visual presence only.
I love this movie so much, and my mind is blanking on me, probably because of this fucking movie. But you all know what I'm trying to say. Like, if you're clicking on this wondering what's 'to.po, none of you are doing that. You're here because
you know what this is.
You're here because you're just like, finally, someone else has found this genius.
Or someone you haven't seen in a while. Like, you gotta think, like, this was the era of filmmakers. So you had Scorsese coming out in the 70s. You had Kubrick coming out. Right, this was 1970, right? You had a ton of these. You had the Italian horror scene. Like, we are so blessed in 1970 to have this wide array of films, but you're still getting the epics. You can still get a Cary Grant film at this time, probably not to up the quality. You're still getting, like, Hitchcock is still doing, like, Family Plot at this time. You are blessed with this vision of movies and cinema, and every movie you watch on that screen is different. From, like, if you were, I don't know, 73 was Robin Hood, you know, you have Disney's Robin Hood, you're picking that up. You could pick up ʻto.po, you could pick up Mean Streets, you could grab The Godfather in 72. Like, what a blessed time to be a part of cinema. Early 70s cinema is a revolution. This is filmmaking right here. Whether you love it or not, this is filmmaking. This is the time period. And this, wow. Like, I take away from this. So the first time I watched it, I was like, what the heck was that? I'm going to be honest. I had no clue what I was watching.
Was it basically the reaction I got as, like, you were watching me sit down and see this? Okay.
Yeah. No, and you're like, what is happening? And, like, I didn't get the metaphors. And I did help explain some things along the way because I've watched this enough, and this is what I take away from it. And Tyler took away different things. But the reason this series exists is because these are movies that you should watch. And I'm about to explain why you should watch it. Because a lot of movies... So this is a criticism of faith, society... just the way we live.
We should make clear, it's not a criticism of religion, it's how humans
interpret religion.
Yes. Abuse.
And that's what I wanted to talk about. So the scene in the church. So they're all there, they got the symbols up, and they say, it's a miracle, it's a miracle. They're playing literal Russian roulette with everyone in this church. And this is the scene that I think sums up the entire movie for me.
Totally.
And they're all passing it around, and the priest looks at this other priest, this co-priest, and he says, don't worry, it's a blank. He puts a real bullet in, right? He wants to know, is my faith real? Am I real? Am I human? Do I live? Do I breathe? Do I have the chance? Do my moral consequences matter? That's what this scene is saying. And he passes it around people like, it's a miracle, it's a miracle. And they say, if this is true, if you survive, your faith is real. Your faith is real if you're the kid who took the bullet. Because you believed enough. You believed that society can change, that can be better. You believed that there is hope for humanity. That's why you pick up that gun for Russian roulette.
I'm trying to remember, like, did the kid grab the gun without them spinning it? Okay.
Yeah, and he grabbed it.
Because that's the thing, like, the actual faith in this is spinning like the holster, and then the faith is that, like, it landed far away from you. Whereas someone grabbed the gun without spinning it, that's either blind faith or recklessness.
But what we've established through all the masters in the desert is that faith is accepting death.
It's also
because they no longer fear death. It's no longer a problem. The average person fears it. So when you truly start to live, and that's what I get out of this, you truly start to live, you don't fear death, you're cautious, you're careful, you're generous, you help build a tunnel, you want to make people laugh, you will take down those who do evil. And that's what this movie, and that cycle starts again. But how do you find that in your life?
And also the fact that the man in black kills anything that can be a threat or is perceived to be a threat is just the fear of losing his life too soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this movie is genius.
And don't get me wrong, I love movies that are about, like, life is short, live it to your fullest potential. I mean, literally a couple months ago before I moved into your old place, I watched Harold and Maude for the first time, which is very much a life is short, live it to your...
I recommend it. I highly recommend you watch it.
I love Harold and Maude.
I don't love it, but I'm really glad I saw it, and I recommend you go see it. I recommend you watch Harold and Maude at least once in your life.
Like, I gotta watch Being There to see if that's, like, better. Oh. Like, don't get me wrong.
Oh, my goodness.
Being There is more consistently sad.
That may possibly be one of the greatest films ever made.
It's great.
And I haven't seen it in a long time, and now I gotta pull it out. Because, my goodness, we should do that on one of these. Have you seen it?
I've seen both of them.
Oh, my goodness.
We got it. One of our double features has to be Harold.
Noah hasn't seen it. Noah hasn't seen it.
Let's make Noah watch. Let's make Noah watch Harold and Maude and Being There.
That's good. That's
the
good
Hal
choice.
Ashby double feature.
Yeah. No, my goodness.
Because he knew how to be. Because Hal Ashby, the genius of him was he knew how to be optimistic without shying away from reality.
Like Peter Sellers was in The Optimist. You've seen that movie, that's The Optimist. It's this Tinker Tailor guy who lives down the street, and these kids help him see the value of life.
Okay, you really threw me off there because I thought you were saying that Chansey wasn't an optimist.
No. Oh, it's like Being There is top 10 most days. I adore that movie. Like the fact
it's great.
We'll get to that in a review. But
totally.
If you haven't seen that, but no, you should watch ʻto.po because it's the foundation of psychedelic filmmaking. And now you could say to me, Josh, you could watch 5 Easy Pieces or Easy Rider or a lot of these early The Graduate.
I gotta watch those.
Yes, but those are good. But this is better. This is taking those themes, playing on the psychedelic filmmaking. Its head flipped on its head. It's the sort of the neo-western, the road movie from the early 60s done to perfection.
If you need more, like, literal down-to-earth storytelling, like those other examples, like 5 Easy Pieces and Easy Rider, will definitely be more up your wheelhouse. If you're willing to take a chance and, like, go batshit balls for the walls,
like if
definitely watch it.
Like if I said to you, Tyler, foundational American horror film, what you got? Friday the 13th, Halloween, something like that, Black Christmas.
I'm not the biggest fan of either one of those.
So there is a movie, and we will watch it. One of the movies I want to do on here is Bay of Blood. It's a Friday the 13th is an Italian. Bay of Blood is a Italian movie about a killer with a mask and a machete who follows people at camp. They do the shot for shot. When Kevin Bacon has sex in that thing, that's a shot ripped out of Bay of Blood. That's an Italian movie first. The Italians did it better. The Spanish did it better. If you want real life surrealism, go watch 8.5. Don't watch The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Go watch that one because it's fun, but watch 8.5 first.
Wait, the 40s one or the Ben Stiller one?
Both are fantastic. I actually really like the Ben Stiller one. I think it's pretty good. I think it's a solid flick.
I have yet to see it, but I'll take your word for it.
But this, like, Italian cinema is what inspired everything. And this is one of those fundamental pieces of Italian cinema, ʻto.po. Now, we're going to get to Santa Sangre, and we're going to get to Holy Mountain, but this is my particular favorite piece. It's not his best storytelling overall, with words and stuff, because Santa Sangre, has better storytelling, but this has the best visuals. Or you could argue Holy Mountain too. You could take that, but this is my definitive Jodorowsky film.
And to add on about Italian cinema, the great thing about Italian cinema is that for everything that is so far from reality, there's the neo-realist side that, like, balances everything out. Like, they knew how to do everything.
Oh my goodness. And just, yeah. So should people watch this? What do you think? Should people watch El Topo?
I think every film fan should at least watch this once, and if you like at least half of the film, I would advise you to watch it again, because I'm going to have to at some point, just to make sure I definitively like it, because there are parts that I think are intentionally great, are unintentionally hilarious, but in either case, they lead to the exact same effect.
Yes.
And it at least makes me respect the film as a whole, even if I think it could have gotten shorter and more to the point in other scenes, but
I like the long-windedness of it, but that's not for everyone, and I know a lot of people are going to say, I even said it was a bit long, but I like the long-windedness. I think the whole point of life is it's long. It's a journey.
Yeah, but how to portray that on film is, like, different from each person.
I think they did it
but
perfect.
Well, I guess you're the one who wrote that this single-handedly invented the American Midnight movie phenomenon.
Well, what was that? I can pull up my letterbox and tell you what it says.
No, that's literally what it says there.
No, I wrote a review on Letterboxd for this. I'm curious what I wrote.
See, I still can't find your account anywhere.
I have a Letterboxd. It's me. I'm here.
Well, I know you're there.
But highly recommend this. Now the reason for this series is you can't find a lot of these on streaming. So if you have to go pirate it, I'm sorry. This is a $60 Blu-ray. They're not cheap. And then you got to find the right region and like yada yada and Tyler, are you glad I made you watch this?
Hell yes. I mean, sober or high off your ass, go watch it.
Oh, you got to do this high.
I quit a few months back.
Fair enough.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this. Thank you for submitting me to this and The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover.
Next
Stay tuned
time
for that
on
next one. Josh made me watch
this.
Let us know in the comments below what you think of El Topo, or what's your favorite Jodorowsky film, because we're very curious.
Yeah, it's going to be...
Be sure to like and subscribe. Check us out on Patreon, Buy Me Coffee, and we'll see you all in the next one.